Okay, yeah. No, 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 no. Don't do that, ever. Hi Glamour, I'm Brad Mondo, hairstylist, brand owner, and creative director of X Mondo. What's up? Today I'll be reacting to on-screen DIY hair transformations and giving you guys tips on how to achieve these looks better at home. Let's do it. The first clip up is the Joker. Let's check it out. Yes, I remember this scene very well. I was actually a little mad about this scene when I watched it because there's no way that could actually happen. This is movie magic here, and if people try and make their hair green over this dark brown color, it's not gonna work. This technique from the Joker is completely unrealistic. Let's break down why. So the scene sort of starts with his hair already wet. It seems like he's applying this semi-permanent color of sorts onto his wet hair, and it's completely turning green, which is just not accurate. In order for him to achieve this look on his level 5, level 6 hair, which is a dark brown, you're gonna need to pre-lighten your hair first. So using something like 20 volume with some bleach, lightening the entire head first, and then going in with a semi-permanent color over everything would help him actually achieve this look in reality, and it'd be a much longer, much more difficult process than just standing, looking at the mirror in the bathroom for 5 minutes doing this and it coming out really great and green. It's just not gonna happen like that. I'm sorry to break it to you. Mulan. This scene brings me so much joy and also makes me horrified at the same time. Okay, I mean, iconic. I think the longer hair was doing not a lot for her face shape. This shorter hair gives her that cooler, more trendy vibe, and I'm really here for it. So Mulan uses a sword to cut her hair, but you can achieve a similar look using a razor. Let's break down how you can do that. I would not recommend using a sword. I would rather you try and use a razor. You wanna section your hair, take your piece and just cut away at it. And it'll give you that nice feathered look on your ends that everybody loves. If you don't have a razor or you don't wanna use a razor, you can also, of course, use some regular old scissors like this. These are super, super sharp and will give you more of a blunt end, but you can use techniques like point cutting in order to thin out your ends and give it that more sword-like feathered texture. When you're cutting a bob, it's important that you don't pull all your hair forward like Mulan did, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get more length in the front and less in the back, and that's just gonna look a little dated. Like having an A-line bob like that is dated. Now, what you're gonna wanna do is work around the head in sections instead of pulling it all to one side or to the back or to the front. That way you get a nice bob that is even all around. That is much more modern and much more clean and much more sexy. The next clip is Gone Girl. We got the box dye. Oh, you guys are really triggering me today with these movies. She is literally in, I don't even know, like a bus station bathroom. I actually have no idea, but this is a mess. This is a total hot mess. However, I think this could actually be possible. This clip from Gone Girl is a little bit more realistic, and let's break it down for you. She first starts off by mixing up some developer with some coloring solution, and she then puts on her gloves. A lot of people tend to stain their entire hands, their entire head, and she applied this quite well. She then applies the color in sort of sections. She uses the bottle cap to section her hair out and put it all over her roots first. If I was doing this in real life, we probably wouldn't start off with the roots because they process faster with the heat from your scalp. So starting on your ends and your midsections is the best idea. Do not do what she did, or else you'll end up with hot roots, which your hair will be way lighter on the top and darker on the bottom, and it will not look natural at all. So I appreciate that she put a bag over her hair because it is going to keep the heat in from the scalp and process the hair more evenly. So that is always best practice. She also then puts the color on her eyebrows, which is not always the safest thing to do, but you can totally do that. It depends what look you're going for, but I think it works for her. Up next, Empire Records. Oh my God. I've never seen this before. She's really going for it. And it almost seems like she's about to cut her scalp off because she's going so close. It's really scary. Yes, we are shaving it. Thank God. And we are using no guard, which actually is a good idea. I do love when girls chop all their hair off. It makes me so happy. I like when it's extremely short and basically when it's as close to your scalp as possible. But I feel like sometimes people can use their hair as a security blanket, and when you can just let go of it all and just cut it all off, I really appreciate that. And I think what she's doing is really cool. However, the technique is not there. So in this scene from Empire Records, you see her using scissors along with some clippers to achieve this look. Let me give you some tips on how to execute and elevate this look. In Empire Records, we see her using a trimmer, and they do tend to get duller faster if you buy like a cheap one, but these will do. So I actually liked that she first cut her hair a little bit shorter and then used the trimmers or clippers after, because sometimes the clippers get stuck in the hair when your hair is too long. So trimming off that excess is always a good idea. You do not need to go as close to your scalp as she did. That's a little scary. I feel like she was literally gonna cut her head off. I really like when it's as close to the scalp as possible. However, you can always put a guard on. You can use like a 2 guard that's really short and will still give you that really sexy, like G.I. Jane look that I am so into. So go really short or go home. The next clip is Scott Pilgrim versus the world. So we have some friends in the bathroom, and that is never a good sign. When your friend's there watching you color your hair, you know you're about to screw it up, like I swear. And her hair comes out so blue. Like, how is that even possible? It seems like she didn't even do anything. Like, you see her head in the bathtub. This is, again, creating unrealistic standards for hairstylists around the world. Like, come on, movies, do better for us. This technique from Scott Pilgrim versus the world is semi-realistic. Let's break down why. So beside her bathtub, there's actually some box dye, and that scares me a little bit. Blue box dye, you just really don't know what you're getting in there typically. She has like very dark, almost level 2 hair, which is nearly the darkest hair you can possibly have. And her hair is bright blue at the end. Now this process, like the Joker, would involve an entire bleaching process. She would need to pre-lighten her hair with probably 30 volume and some foils because you want to incubate that hair, keep that heat in, and really get that hair lifted really bright first. And then you go in with some semi-permanent color, put that blue over everything, and it would come out just like this. When it comes to having semi-permanent color, my head is filled with it. I have every single color. You're gonna need to take care of it. Please wash it as little as possible. Wash with a color-saving shampoo and conditioner, and also stay out of the sun as much as you can, or wear a hat when you're in the sun. It's a little annoying to have colorful hair in the summer because it fades really quickly, but that's also the nice part, is because you can change it all the time and you can have fun with it. Thank you, Glamour. I hope that these tips and tricks were helpful for your next DIY hair transformations. Bye, guys.